national security apparatus. This consists of India's national security apparatus. These are the people who are designing, who are actually thinking, who are the brains behind what India is going to do if Pakistan retaliates and if Pakistan escalates the situation.
Okay, I want to point out one detail. You remember when earlier a picture had emerged of when the service chiefs had met the Prime Minister before Operation Sindoor, everyone kept talking about how the air chief kept writing something in his notebook. Look at the Navy chief in this particular video. He's got a diary in his hand. You can bet your last buck people are going to be analyzing this right down to the last detail, Aditya.
Especially in Pakistan, there's a concept where...
I have to say something. Yeah. I think they're doing this deliberately. Every time somebody is writing something in a diary, they don't need to carry a diary with them.
It's a messaging. It's like messaging, certainly. Everything is messaging, but we do not know. Probably the Navy chief actually found an important point and he was writing that there and the videographer captured it. But, in Pakistan, there's this very important domain of work on YouTube where they actually, these are reaction videos. So I'm pretty sure that they can do these reaction videos on this visual of what the body language is like and what could likely happen. But unfortunately, most of those accounts are banned right now. So
but on a serious note, I want to ask, is this a review meeting or is this a planning meeting for the next step, given that it's been 3 days since Operation Sindoor?
Well, as of now, I can tell you that this is a review meeting. They are trying to review what has happened till now, what could be expected next, and what is our preparedness like. So yes, the options would be also laid out, that these are the options and this is the escalation ladder under which we will go if this is the kind of attack that happens. But I want to tell the viewers, there's a confirmation now coming in that there are blasts now that are being heard in Jammu, in Samba and in neighboring areas. This is a big development. Drones have been sent yet again. These are Turkish drones in all likelihood, like that happened earlier. There are reports coming in from Jammu, from Arispura, from Samba, as well as from Nagrota.
Some people saying in Uri as well.
From Uri as well. In Uri, what the confirmation that I have from the district administration, that massive shelling has began from the Pakistani side. They are again trying to target the civilian areas in Uri, in Kupwara and in Poonch. So these are the areas where Pakistan has caused civilian damage, civilian casualties on the Indian side. This is a coward army. I mean, I have to say this on air. We have been deliberately targeting only the Pakistan army and their military, installations and posts, as is clearly visible from the videos that we have put out. But in Uri, but in Poonch and in other locations in Kashmir as well as the Jammu division, Pakistan army is completely going against the rules and an understanding and targeting in ceasefire violation these civilians all across. But it's a developing situation in Jammu, Padmaja, where drones have been now entering India.
It's a very important point that you're making. Let's take in a split that video also of an early morning drone strike, and it was caught in a CCTV camera that was installed in a house in Poonch, if I'm not mistaken. Imagine it's about 7:15 a.m. That's the timestamp on that video, which was caught on CCTV of what happened the moment when a drone struck, or it wasn't drone strike actually, must have been the artillery strike, given that it was a ceasefire violation that happened and Poonch was attacked. And imagine you're doing this to a civilian's house. So that is the Pakistan army for you. And now the fresh information that we are getting, Omar Abdullah in fact has also tweeted and said, blackout in Jammu now, sirens can be heard across the city. The chief minister today morning went to Jammu after what happened there last night. Through the night, there were repeated attempts by Pakistani drones to try and intrude, and the chief minister is in Jammu even as we speak. So he's also confirmed that there are sirens going off. What more can you tell us, Aditya?
Well, I'm being told now that in Punjab also similar visuals are coming in from Amritsar and Firozpur. So it's again yet another night of Pakistan trying to tease in some way, India. And of course, this seems to be a complete decoy. This seems to be a complete diversion that, India is focused on Jammu, on Amritsar and significant places around the line of control.
Omar Abdullah has tweeted intermittent sounds of blasts. Probably heavy artillery can now be heard from where I am.
I can confirm that this is not artillery. Artillery is at the, at the line of control. But what I believe and I know so far, this is the air defense system of India acting against the drones that are coming in. A lot of these drones have been, counter-attacked by the air defense system and brought down. And these are the explosions of those blasts that are taking place. Yes, there is heavy shelling and artillery fire happening in Poonch, in Kupwara and in Uri, where civilian targets are being chosen by the Pakistan Army in a very cowardly fashion. Civilians are being targeted along the line of control.
All right, a complete blackout has been enforced in the Akhnur of Jammu division. That's what ANI is reporting at present. Sirens can be heard, some blasts. That is what the Chief Minister Omar Abdullah is saying, but Aditya here saying this is actually India's air defense kicking in. Explosions heard in Samba as well as India's air defense intercepts Pakistani drones amid a blackout. Maybe we can play out some of those visuals. It's interesting and significant that this happens on a day when Khwaja Asif is telling his local media that we are now headed towards war. Aditya.
Well, of course, this is a statement that came in, of course, from Khwaja Asif, the defense minister of Pakistan. He's been going, dilly-dallying and going from one statement to other. One minister, the foreign minister, says that he wants mediation and talks from Saudi and others. And here is the defense minister who says that war is the only option with India. It almost seems that Pakistan does not know what really to do. There seems to be confusion, there seems to be a chaos within the Pakistani government and the Pakistani deep state. They are certainly not on the same page. And it almost seems that the Pakistani defense minister has got a dressing down from Asim Munir, the Pakistan army chief, because of these statements that are coming in. And that's why he's going all loud and volatile against India and saying that war is perhaps the only option. There is escalation, there is retaliation that is expected. As of now, whatever reports that are coming in from Jammu, Samba, Amritsar and other places is the same kind of drones that came in yesterday. Yesterday was around 8 to 8:10. Now between 8:30 to 8:40, again, there are similar drones that are coming in. They are, of course, being reacted upon by the air defense mechanism that we have in place all across the LOC and the IP.
This is also, as has just been pointed out to me, the MOFA statement yesterday, they put out their entire statement saying that this is Indian media hysteria, these drones are not ours. None of what is happening is Pakistan's doing, and India is creating this pretext to try and attack us. All right, these are today's images. Let's try and see if there is any sound in these images as well. These are today's images from Jammu. Yep, very clearly those sounds can be heard. What do you make of this sound? All of yesterday, Jammu has been hearing this. What do you make of this?
Well, this is only bringing back memories of what we saw 1.5 years back when, Israel was attacked by Gaza, by, Hamas and others in Gaza, and similar kind of cheap rockets and drones were thrown at Tel Aviv and other places all across central Israel. So these are cheap tactics that the Pakistan army is adopting from Hamas's
just to be clear,
playbook.
like Omar Abdullah said, this is not artillery fire. This in all likelihood is not even explosions which are being carried out by drones. This is in all likelihood India's air defense system.
It is 100% air defense system, just like it was yesterday. Firing has been reported, artillery has been reported, but I can confirm now artillery gunfire has been reported from the line of control and firing has been reported from the international border in Samba. We are trying to check from the BSF what's happening in Samba. We are also trying to check from the army what's happening in LOC, but LOC is confirmed ceasefire violation that's been happening ongoing for the last 15 days or so, ever since the Pahalgam terror attack. And in the international border, the context is that last night, Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists tried to intrude. 7 to 8 of them were killed. There are visuals of how the engagement really happened. As a reaction to that, India also launched military strikes in a limited manner to target Pakistani posts and installations along the IB and the LOC. And right now there is reports of firing in Samba again. We'll have to wait and watch what's happening, whether there was a fresh attempt by Jaish-e-Mohammed to intrude into India yet again. But thick and fast, very fluid movements happening in Jammu, Samba, all across the western sector of India. But there is preparation in hand by the Indian Armed Forces. They're very much prepared, the Indian Air Force and the entire technological prowess that we have right now, from air defense systems to everything in place, so that there is no civilian casualty or damage.
Tell me this, what do you make of this focus on the Jammu division? Even yesterday, most of the explosions, where the drones were going, it was all in the Jammu division. Why?
Well, overall in media, in national media and international media, there would be a bit of a monkey balancing, if I can use that word, and not tell people what the reality is. But from the perspective of the Pakistan army, especially when there's a jihadist like Asim Munir,
it's a Hindu majority area.
It's a Hindu majority area. I mean, the Hindus are living there. There's Vaishno Devi there. I mean, every year there are crores and crores of pilgrims that go to not just Vaishno Devi, but Shiv Khori, other places, and then Amarnath Yatra.
And there were reports yesterday that perhaps some of those drones were headed towards Vaishno Devi as well, towards Katra.
Of course, not just Vaishno Devi. Now, Pakistan tries to say that we are the angels who help and be with the Sikh community all across the world. But the reality is that the first target of the Pakistanis after Operation Sindoor was a Sikh family, was a Sikh Granthi, was a Gurdwara in Poonch. And then they tried to launch...
And the missionary school.
And the missionary school.
So,
Christians
so
and Hindus
Christians
and Muslims and
Sikhs, yes.
everybody. And then, Padmaja, which hasn't been debated much, they tried to send a missile to Amritsar. And there was a last minute blackout that happened at the Golden Temple. So missile is there. I mean, there is evidence. It's not just narrative building that's happening here in media.
Although the SGPC has officially contradicted that. The SGPC in Amritsar is saying none of that is true, but it is a fact that around Amritsar there were remnants of Pakistani drones that were found. Aditya.
100%. I mean, SGPC can say what they can, but the locals have reported, local media has reported, people who were at the Golden Temple have reported. There are videos that come out. It's similar to what's happening in Pakistan. The Pakistani government or the ISPR can say that nothing has happened, civilians have been attacked, etc. But when you see funerals happening of terrorists of Lashkar-e-Toiba and Jaish attending the funeral along with Pakistan Army, and visuals being played out by the citizens of Pakistan, what more proof do you need?
This seems to be an interesting detail. Drones are shot down in Samba already?
Yes, 100%. These drones in Samba as well as in Jammu have been shot down. The first barrage of rockets and these drones that came in have been completely shot down. That's the confirmation that we are receiving from the security top brass on ground. And of course, the locals know the drill already. That blackout has been initiated by the local administration. People have been advised to take shelter immediately. Do not panic. This is a regular exercise. Air Force and other security forces are there to help you.
Absolutely. So this is the big story that we are breaking right now on News 9. A blackout in several cities across the Jammu sector. Pakistani drones have been shot down in Samba, ceasefire violations also being reported, but all of these are actively being thwarted by the air defense system and the armed forces in general. Just focus on the faces you see on screen right now. This is the Prime Minister holding a review meeting today in the evening with the Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Air Staff and the Navy Chief, along with the entire security apparatus of India. And you don't need to worry or panic, just take precautions. The rest will be done by the men on your screen. Thanks for watching.
This is India's #1 news network and you're watching News 9.
बेबो का एक ही रूल, रोज खाओ अंडे विदाउट भूल।
Cause eggs are cool, 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 yes, eggs are